Hello and welcome back to Too Many Books. My name is Sean, and today I have a Lividian Press unboxing. This, my friends, is the 10th and final volume in the incredible Matthew Corbett series in the signed and numbered edition as produced by Lividian. Now, if you haven't read this series, I highly recommend doing so. This is honestly, I love McCammon, one of my favorite authors out there, but as a whole, this Matthew Corbett series is probably amongst his best works. It's just his absolute magnum opus. It is insane the amount of tales he has written about young Matthew Corbett and friends. And even though many of the novels, especially the earlier ones, are essentially standalone adventures, they do have an overarching narrative, especially in the final volumes, in which him being Matthew Corbett, he and his companions are kind of put to work by his arch nemesis, the evil and sinister Professor Fell, to help him find a mysterious mirror that has gone missing in the world. A mirror that has the ability to speak to demons and call forth demons. And so for the past few volumes, in particular, really, it's this one and the prior volume is when they're actually setting sail on their journey. The prior volume being The King of Shadows. You journey with Matthew and company on this journey to find this mysterious mirror and hope that it doesn't fall into the wrong hands. So I had previously done a trade release unboxing for this, because this was previously published as a trade edition through Lividian, which I no longer have. I wish I should have kept it to do a side-by-side here, but I needed some shelf space. This numbered edition is 750 copies. Mine's 191, which matches many of my other Lividian titles. It, of course, has a nice little frontispiece here, Vincent Chong's frontispiece, as well as other interiors by Vincent Chong as well. Now, one thing that's nice about this, and this is why I kind of wish I'd kept that trade edition, is that the trade edition had smaller, I know they did it for the previous few titles. I believe they did the same thing for Leviathan here. It had a smaller text size in order to cut the page count down, and in order to help keep costs down. Oh, we have some illustrations that aren't even full-page illustrations, a little half-page illustration. But if you haven't read any of Matthew Corbett's, he is a problem solver back in colonial America. You know, he's been referred to as the colonial James Bond. And it's well worth checking out. What is this thread that is, there we go, lurking on my copy here? Originally, this was the title, this was the series that led to McCammon's retirement back in the 90s for about a decade. He retired for a decade. He had, he had been pigeonholed as being a horror author, and yeah, he had branched out from horror a little bit. Boy's Life and Gone South kind of aren't really straight up horror novels. They have little elements here and there, but they're standing on their own right. McCammon wanted to write about Matthew Corbett, which was going to be an adventure novel. It's not a horror novel. It is branching far from horror. And the publisher said, no, we're not doing that. And there was a little bit of frustration on McCammon's part, which led to him retiring for some years. And he finally came back in the early 2000s, actually finding a home for Speaks the Nightbird, which had a limited edition back in the day that went out of print. Now, you can actually find the website of that original publisher, and it is going to show that it is still in print on their website. But word of warning, do not buy it. If you buy it, you will send them their money, and then you will never hear back from them again. I'm going to cover up a little bit of the image there, even though it's not too explicit, but just to cover it up for the sake of, your protection here on YouTube. But it's still available as a trade release. Ooh. I probably shouldn't be showing that image. Oops. And it is coming, there's a forthcoming edition of Speaks the Nightbird that will be coming from Lividian Publications. Robert McCammon himself has a nice little letter here at the end of Leviathan. It looks like this is the end of the tale. Anyways, Brian James Freeman was able to secure the rights to Speaks the Nightbird, which I think he had posted that he's going to do like a whole release on. I believe he's doing 2 volumes for the limited edition. I am very excited. After Speaks the Nightbird, you have a further 9 volumes over a total of 3 different publishers. Queen of Bedlam, Mr. Slaughter. God, what were the other ones after Mr. Slaughter? Mr. Slaughter, River of Souls be the next one? Then Providence Rider is in there. I am going to butcher the chronological releases here, completely out of order. But most of those titles were done by Subterranean Press up until Cardinal Black, I believe, was the only one done by Cemetery Dance. And then after Cardinal Black, they moved on to Lividian, who finished things out with King of Shadows, 7 Tales of Evil, which is a short story collection, and then finally Leviathan. But I mean, there's a whole slew of titles from Subterranean Press. And some of those early ones, particularly Mr. Slaughter and Queen of Bedlam, are quite pricey on the secondary market, unfortunately. But they did get trade paperback releases for all the titles, starting with Mr. Slaughter, through Lividian. So Queen of Bedlam and Speaks the Nightbird, you still have to find elsewhere, or you could hold out for a limited edition from Lividian for Speaks the Nightbird. Very excited to be able to get a signed limited edition of that. Hopefully, fingers crossed, maybe Brian can secure rights for limited editions of some of the other titles that are long out of print from Subterranean Press. I know people probably rolling their eyes at that idea, probably very opposed to that idea, because once you have a limited edition, you don't need another limited edition. But I mean, it'd be cool to get a nice matching set for everything. But I mean, obviously, you'd have to do quite a few titles to get the Lividian matching die-cut slipcase. I'm mostly just looking for those early titles that are much harder to find. But anyways, check out Robert McCammon. Check out his Matthew Corbett series. It absolutely kicks ass. Once I have read Leviathan, I will do a full book review here on the channel, so be sure to subscribe to check that out. I do at least 1 book review a week, plenty of unboxing videos in between here and there, including another Robert McCammon unboxing that'll be done right after this one, so stick around for that. This time from the other side of the pond. You probably already know what it is. But seriously, check out Lividian. Brian James Freeman does exceptional work, and we'll see you around next time.